The Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. Okay, as we read this, it seems to make very logical sense, at least at first glance. God gives wisdom. And what do we think about wisdom being equated with? Knowledge. The wiser you are, the more you know, the smarter you are, all that stuff, right? The more experience you have, the more wisdom and knowledge you have. But did you notice how the proverb also includes understanding in that? God's wisdom includes understanding. And not just God understanding us, but perhaps also our understanding one another. Or better put, our ability and desire to understand one another. I sometimes grieve that these days and age, and I don't know how long ago this began, probably longer than we think, we've lost the ability, or even the interest, the desire to understand one another, or at least to seek to understand one another. I've noticed that there have been many times where people have made decisions about me as a pastor before they've ever met me. Just because the fact that I am a pastor, because I have REV in front of my name, because I wear a stole on Sundays, they make certain decisions about me. That I believe one thing or another, that I act one way or another, live one way or another, believe or feel one way over or above another. And I often find they're wrong. Because we forget to try to understand one another, to seek to get one another. And that takes a wisdom, right? It takes a wisdom to desire to know somebody, because we have to acknowledge that most of the time we get it wrong if we haven't tried to really understand somebody. And that requires us to get their input. We've begun to do this, or not do this, in very measurable and specific ways. We look at the political signs on someone's yard, and we make decisions about their whole life and self. We forget to get to know them. We hear a sermon from a pastor, and we think we know everything about them. We see a child's grades, and we assume far too much. We look at the success or failings of a parent, and we make judgments about their family. We've forgotten that part of wisdom is understanding, not just knowing, but coming to understand, seeking to understand. And so let us take time to do that. Let us be intentional about that and catch ourselves when we don't. And maybe we'll find ourselves living in a wiser world. Amen.